Hey everyone, and welcome back to Dallas Cowboys coverage after an incredible win against the Minnesota Vikings. One of the best games I've ever seen out of the Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna break it all down here, and it was amazing. I mean, coming off of a terrible week against the Packers. I mean, probably one of the most heartbreaking losses, at least regular season, that we've seen. And then very next week against the Packers being what, a 4-6 team, and now you're going up against an 8-1 team. It goes from a horrible loss to the largest road win in franchise history. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. I don't know if anyone saw this coming. The Cowboys own the Vikings. So I felt like we had a chance to win the whole way. I was honestly more nervous for the Packers game, but never did I expect this result. Incredible. I mean, it was just amazing. Everything went well. And I've been saying it all year. If the offense, the defense, and the special teams all in one game plays at their potential, plays like we've seen them play at points throughout the season. If it all happens on the same day, that's what happens. I mean, this team is incredible. This team is a Super Bowl contender if this happens, but it's just the biggest question mark this year has been which Cowboys team's going to show up. Is the defense going to show up? Most of the time that's been the case. Is the offense going to show up? That's been iffy. Special teams is pretty much always showing up. We'll talk about that later. But it's got to be the consistency, the complementary play of every unit, offense, defense, and special teams. If you can get that, if you can get all three, that's when you have this success. And the Cowboys put it on full display. Incredible game. Start with Dak Prescott. It was a rough game last week. I mean, there was a lot of mixed opinions on him. Starting to question, is Dak the guy? Overreaction. Monday, to be fair. This is a very nice overreacting victory Monday. But it was just, he bounced back in an incredible way. Through 2 interceptions, just bad passes. Say what you want with miscommunication. It was just bad. It was a mistake. And I mean, there's a lot involved in it, but it's you don't like to see that happen. But he came back. He threw 2 interceptions last game. He threw 3 incompletions this game. 88%, only 3 incomplete passes, over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great game out of Dak. I mean, what more can you ask for? He led this team. He didn't make any mistakes. He just cruised to victory. It was a great game out of him. Ezekiel Elliott, coming off the injury, didn't get maybe, I think, only 14 carries. Not a huge amount, but a decent amount. I think it was 12 carries. Decent amount of yards, 40-some, 2 big touchdowns. He played his role. He was great. You want to call him the yin? Well, the yang is Tony Pollard. My player of the game, unquestionably. He was amazing. I was afraid once Zeke comes back into the lineup that Tony Pollard was sort of going to fall back into this old role of, the change of pace, third down type running back. But no, I mean, his role, instead of shrinking like I was afraid it would, it expanded because he was great on the ground. 80 yards on not that many carries. He's leading the NFL, by the way, in average yards per carry. He's been awesome this year. But the receiving is what set him apart. I mean, absolutely incredible. He led the team in both rushing and receiving, obviously total offense. Nearly 200 yards total. He had, I think, 109, something like that, receiving. 2 receiving touchdowns, including that one on the bomb. I mean, Tony Pollard, he's incredible. He's turning into so much more than just a secondary running back now. I mean, he's a starter undoubtedly. I think he silenced all of that with the 2 straight 100-yard rush games in Zeke's absence, and now a nearly 200-yard scrimmage game. Absolutely incredible. He's amazing. He's going to get paid this offseason, whether that's by the Cowboys or someone else. That remains to be seen. I hope they're able to retain him, but man, he's been awesome. He's been incredible. He's turned into a true elusive weapon, Christian McCaffrey almost type player in these past 3 weeks. He's been amazing. I can't wait to see what he can keep doing. And now with Zeke back, controlling the ground, the power running, 2 touchdowns out of him again. Just, they're great. They complement each other so well. This is the best running back duo in the entire league, without a doubt. They were amazing. So receiving, it was mostly Tony Pollard. We kind of talked about that already. CeeDee Lamb had a couple good catches. He caught all 5 of his for around 50 yards. not the incredible statistical game like last week, but he played his role, caught every pass. What more can you ask for? Noah Brown, same type of thing, not quite as much, but just solid. Same thing with Michael Gallup. CeeDee Lamb, though, the one incredible sideline catch. That was amazing. But the wide receivers were just all pretty solid. It was really Tony Pollard that took over in the receiving game. So credit to him. The offensive line, again, they've been so good. I mean, Tyler Smith and Connor McGovern, the question marks, Tyler Biadasz as well. They've been playing so good. Average, above average linemen. That's how they've looked. They've really been incredible. Terrence Steele, I mean, before this year started, I was very concerned about the offensive line, especially with Tyron Smith going down, because you have a rookie in Tyler Smith, McGovern, Biadasz, and Terrence Steele who have not proven themselves. And then Zack Martin, but they've all been so good. Zack Martin's been awesome. Terrence Steele on that right side of the line has just controlled the running game. Even Jason Peters did a good job while he came in. I can't wait. And now Tyron Smith coming back, it gets even better. It's amazing. I think, when Tyron Smith comes back, insert him at left tackle where he belongs. Slide Tyler Smith over to left guard. That seems to be kind of what they're preparing for, since we saw Tyler Smith actually play left guard at the end of the game. Jason Peters subbed in at left tackle. But, man, this line is so good. And now add a perennial all-pro like Tyron Smith. It's amazing. The offensive line has outperformed all expectations, and I just got to give the O-line a ton of credit. Dalton Schultz as well. He's looked so good since Zach came back. I've said it before. He's a bit of a product of Dak Prescott and the greatness of him to get the tight end involved, to find him. That was something we saw Cooper Rush wasn't able to do. Dalton Schultz disappeared without Dak. And I think that's going to contribute to, whether you pay him, because I think it's more on Dak than it is on Dalton Schultz, but give credit where credit's due. He had a great game. Credit to him. So before I talk about the defense, which is going to be a lot, I want us to talk special teams real quick. Brett Maher also, it was just amazing. I mean, you guys saw, he just gets absolutely robbed. Drills a 60-yard field goal, and then they go back, review the CeeDee Lamb play from a play before. You can't do that. Apparently, the whistle was blown before the kick. Nonsense. It was horrible. I mean, just trying to rob the Cowboys of everything. Keep the game close on the scoreboard. Brett Money Maher, he's been incredible all year. I was afraid about the inconsistencies at kicker, and bringing a guy like Brett Maher, I didn't love that idea, since he had been really the model of inconsistent in his previous tenure with the Cowboys. But he has came back so much improved. He's been awesome. Only missed 2 kicks all year, and both from 59. Today, he made up for them, drove 2 60-yard field goals. Only 1 counted, but it was amazing. He went back, just, he wasn't fazed by the ice. Basically, he drilled that. It was even better than the first one. Straight down the middle. It probably would have made it from 70. He was amazing. I mean, his leg is incredible. Brett Maher, got to give him credit, because he's been awesome all year, and he just really, the cherry on top of that first half, and really set the tone going into the second, just really stomping on the Vikings when they were already down. Brett Maher, credit to you. Bryan Anger, as usual, awesome. I mean, what more can you say? He's a great punter, and Kevontae Turpin is a great kick returner. I know it. One of these days, one of these games, he will get the touchdown. We've seen him be so close. He's going to get it. Maybe even next week on Thanksgiving. That would be something to be thankful for. So, speaking of Thanksgiving, you have a quick turnaround here. The New York Giants right next week, so it's going to be interesting, the mentality. Already, you'd heard reports from the locker room that was the conversation before, as soon as the game ended, on to the next. And I love that mentality, just, taking this win, incredible win, but focusing on the next. You have a game in just a couple days, and I know they're going to be ready, and it's going to be exciting. So, before we get into that, I'll preview that in a minute, but the defense, oh man, the defense is back. It was 2 pretty rough weeks defensively, just not the dominance we'd seen in the past previous games, but they were amazing. Micah Parsons right back on track. He's up to 10 sacks now. He got 2 plus the forced fumble at the beginning of the game. Set the tone from the start. I mean, it was, I think, the third play of the game, forces that fumble. It set the tone. As soon as that happened, I'm like, all right, we're winning this one. We got this. That was just a tone setter. Shut up that Skull crowd with their chanting and all that. I love Jayron Kearse. He was savage for that. Jayron Kearse was amazing today. Had another sack, or yesterday. Had another sack. It just was all over the place, making tackles in the right place. As always, he's a captain for a reason. He's a leader on this team. We heard him in the locker room pumping everyone up. He's been awesome. Just got to give him a lot of credit as well. Van Der Esch did a good job. A lot of pass rushing. DeMarcus Lawrence racked up his 6th sack of the season. Dorance Armstrong got his 7th. They look dominant. I mean, Kirk Cousins was sacked a record, I think, 7 times by this defense. Everyone was getting the job done. Sam Williams had 2 key tackles for a loss. Want to highlight that. He looked really good, even in, again, limited minutes, as we've seen throughout the year. But he makes an impact quick, and I can't wait to see the future of Sam Williams. He's going to be a really key piece on this team for sure. Damone Clark got a lot of playing time. I think he looked even better than he had been. Really gave Micah Parsons, again, that opportunity to rush the passer. When he does it, he's going to get sacks. There's no stopping him. Odigizuwa, as usual, has been pretty solid. It was an all-around great game defensively. I mean, your corners, Trevon Diggs shut down Justin Jefferson. That was my biggest concern coming into this game, especially Anthony Brown coming off the bad game, plus the concussion. Deron Bland struggling. Diggs has been great. But Diggs, Anthony Brown, everyone just locked him down. Jefferson had a couple catches for a couple yards. He was shut down. It was an incredible performance defensively. Diggs just allowing a couple catches for a few yards. Brown, I think, only allowed 1 catch. Everyone hates on Anthony Brown, and it's understandable because he just always gives up the big play. The one big play and it just sticks in your mind. But it's not that he does it every game. He has so many good games in a row, but no one notices. But then he gives up that one long bomb touchdown, which I'm not trying to make excuses for. That's rough. But then everyone hates him, and understandably so. Again, I'm not going to make excuses for him, but he's important to this team. He really is. He makes a big impact, and even though he's probably the scapegoat a lot of the time, and no one really loves Anthony Brown, he is important because we saw what happened when he went down last week. Kelvin Joseph and Deron Bland thrust into those 2 starting roles. It was bad. You got cooked by Christian Watson and the Packers practice squad of receivers. No, you put him back in the lineup. Of course, you have Diggs, Deron Bland, bounce back game. You shut down one of the best receivers in the league in Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, and TJ Hawkinson. I mean, they have a crew of receivers. And just for you to go from being burned last week by the Packers to shut down one of the most dynamic and best offenses in the entire league and best pass catchers in the league, it was amazing. What a statement defensively. Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson at the safety spots, want to give them credit too, but Trevon Diggs, he's a superstar in this league. He only has 3 interceptions this year. Not the 11 of last year, but his coverage skills have improved tremendously. He was amazing last year. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to be like those. He gave up 1,000 yards. He didn't. Look at their stats for real. But he's added so much to his game. He still has the hands, and if he gets one coming his way, he will pick it off. 3 interceptions. You got to remember, that's really good. That's, I think, top 3 in the league. It's amazing. Maybe not top 3, but it's really good. Previous to Trevon Diggs, I can't remember anyone getting 3 interceptions in a season. And I think he spoiled us with 11. But 3's just fine because how much he's improved in coverage, in tackling. That's another key one. He's only missed 1 tackle all year. He's just grown so much. And even though he's not making the flashy plays he did last year, he's making the consistent effort to be better, and he has been. And he's been awesome this year. Want to give him a lot of props. Maybe he's not a Pro Bowler this year because they don't see the interceptions. To me, he is undoubtedly. So Pro Bowl voting opened. I know it's not the real Pro Bowl anymore. It's sort of the skills thing, but be sure to vote the Cowboys players, get them in there. I want to see Diggs back in there because he deserves it more than ever. And I know there's a lot of hate for him around the league, but it needs to stop. He is him. He deserves his respect. So type in the comments, Trevon Diggs. Type in Diggs. Can you dig it? Because he is one of the best corners in the entire NFL, without a doubt. And I will die on that hill. He's awesome. Got to give him credit for sure. So that's about it. Forgive me if I forgot anyone because there were so much good performances. Dante Fowler, that's another one. It was just amazing. It was a great game, and I just want to sort of preview the Giants game and also talk about some rumors of a former Giant. I think you know who that is. So, again, you have Thanksgiving on Thursday. Thanksgiving games it's interesting. You know, the Cowboys are pretty inconsistent in those games overall. It's tough just coming off a game, you know, just 4 days later having to play on Thanksgiving. It's not easy. But after a win like this, the momentum that carries in, I think they're going to destroy the Giants. We saw them get beat up by the Lions. The Cowboys will take care of them. I believe that unquestionably. It's time to make a statement. It's time to bury the Giants under us, you know, for us to make sure we get minimum second in the division. Put the Giants away. Put them away. Do that on Thursday. If you beat them, especially convincingly, you put them away. You're not going to let them get back up. Beat them twice, head-to-head, you're going to be okay. And maybe even able to challenge the Eagles. They haven't looked as good. I so wish the Colts could have beat them and knocked them off. But they haven't done as well as of late. And the Cowboys really, after yesterday's performance, this is a good team. This is a good team. If they put it all together, I'm not going to try to be, you know, last week the season's over and then this week is Super Bowl. You know, a lot of fans are like that. You got to relax. Got to relax a little. I said relax after last week. This week, I'm not going to say relax because, bro, I mean, come on. But just stay focused, I think, is the number one thing. For fans, you know, calm down. And for the team, just stay focused. Take this momentum and just put it all on the New York Giants. Destroy them on Thanksgiving. Just seriously, I mean, turkey them on Turkey Day. Just take them out of it. If you can do that, if you can just crush them like you did the Vikings, I mean, how much better way to assert your dominance, not only in the division, but in the NFC and the league as a whole. The Cowboys have a great team. And if they can put it all together like they did on Sunday, this is a Super Bowl caliber team. And I want to see them do it again. 2 games in a row, dominant performances, and then we'll go from there. 1 game at a time, just keep going, just keep pounding. Don't even worry about who you're playing, just worry about beating them. No matter how good they are record-wise or how bad they are record-wise. It doesn't matter. You lost to a 4-5 team, 3-5 team, whatever they are, and you beat an 8-1 team. It's so much more than just the record. It's coming in with the right mindset every game, not overlooking anyone, not straying, not just getting astray from the focus. Just focus on what you do best, whether that's defensively rushing the passer, asserting your dominance, offensively not turning the ball over, sticking to the run with Zeke and Pollard, getting CeeDee involved. You have so much on this team, so many weapons, and if you can add another one, who I'm about to talk about, this team has so much potential to do so many great things in the playoffs. Just keep the consistency going, and then you'll get where you want to go. So, I've kept you guys waiting long enough. Thanks for listening to that. Odell Beckham Jr., please. I was saying, if you can go look back at the last video, I'm begging him to come here. But now, I mean, he's commenting on the game. Micah Parsons, Dez Bryant, DeMarcus Lawrence, Trevon Diggs, all commenting on him, or DMing him on Twitter, adding him. Just the recruiting and the flirting, really, of the front office. Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, Stephen Jones. This is like no else. I mean, we've heard rumors, you know, all throughout the past. The Jamal Adams stuff, the Von Miller. I'm sure there's so much more, but those are just ones that stick out to me. It's always due diligence. It's always, you know, we'll look into it. We'll do our due diligence. But this time, it's not that. I mean, they're openly saying, put a star on his helmet. Bring him in. And now he will be coming in for a workout after Thanksgiving. He will reportedly, per CBS Sports, will be working out for the Cowboys after the Thanksgiving game, along with the New York Giants after the Thanksgiving game. So to me, if you go in there, crush the Giants, not only do you assert your dominance over them, but you tell OBJ, no way. He says, no way I'm going back to New York. I'm staying right here. And that's another just motivation to win that game. He saw what you did against the Vikings. He saw the Lions beat up the New York Giants. He saw them struggle. He saw us succeed. Just keep doing that. Keep recruiting him. Keep talking it, and just keep performing on game day. And I really do think that he is going to be a Dallas Cowboy in just a couple of weeks. The impact of the contract, I don't even care. We'll worry about that later when he comes back, when he plays, what the contract details are. I honestly don't care, because you have $20 million sitting there doing absolutely nothing. You cut Amari Cooper, you cut La'el Collins. I've been over it before, and you didn't do anything with that money. It's still sitting there. I don't care if he wants $20 million for the 1 year. Just pay him, and then deal with whatever happens later. I'm not saying F them picks. I'm not saying go full Rams and just tear down your future, because that's what they've kind of done. But they won a Super Bowl, so it's like the trade-off there. You don't have to be that extreme, but you have to want to win. I keep saying the Eagles, after one bad week with run defense, we've had that for quite a few weeks. Not that they haven't, but it was a glaring issue in their loss to the Commanders. They pick up Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh. And I'm not saying they're the best players. They're older guys now, but I would love to have Linval Joseph on this team. Just the fact that they go out and make moves. They traded for Robert Quinn. They traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. They traded for A.J. Brown. They signed Hassan Reddick in free agency. They've done so much to improve their team, and the Cowboys simply have not made that happen. And it's frustrating to me, because you were way better than the Eagles were last year, but you allowed them to catch up in the arms race of this NFC East and this conference. There's a reason they're 9-1, because they went out and they improved their team. They got to here from here, and that's just something the Cowboys have not done in the past. Luckily they're good at drafting, but they just don't make the big moves. They don't make the big trades. They don't make the big signings. Now's your chance. You can't make any more trades. You can't. There's one guy out there that can move the needle, and that is Odell Beckham Jr. Make it happen. I don't care. I don't care what it takes, because you've so long just refused to be all in. Now's your chance. This team, Jerry said it himself, it can win a Super Bowl. Go make it happen. Go sign Odell Beckham Jr. and make it happen. And that's what it's going to take. No one wins a Super Bowl by accident. It's by you committing all in. And that's something that we've been questioning. We questioned in the offseason. We questioned at the beginning of the season. Is this team committed to a Super Bowl this year? Are they all in? And to me, whatever happens with Odell Beckham Jr. will answer that question, whether you are all in or not. And it's going to come down to it. To me, it's just, you got to make the move. You got to make it happen. You have money sitting there doing nothing. You can worry about contract deals after you win a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If we win a Super Bowl, I don't care. I don't care that we have a big contract. I don't care about any of that. We have another ring. And that is all I care about right now, because I have never seen one. I've never even been close. I haven't seen this team win a divisional round playoff game in my life. That's tough for me. As a diehard Cowboys fan, I'm desperate for this. I want to see it happen. And Jerry, Steven, you guys, McCarthy, if you want to make it happen, sign Odell Beckham Jr. And this goes beyond OBJ himself. Just show the interest. Show your team. Show your players that you are all in. Everyone wants Odell Beckham Jr. in this building. Bringing him in, no matter what he does performance-wise, will bring a boost to this team. The fact that they know that you have their back, that you're going after a player that they want, and that you are making a concerted effort to make this team better. That's what I want to see. I think that's what your players want to see. Jerry Jones, make it happen. Bring Odell to Dallas, and this team, this offense, it can be even better than it was on Sunday. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. Make it happen. You said it yourself. Go make it happen. And that's what it's going to come down to. So thanks again for watching. Thanks again for just sticking with me. Thank you for the Cowboys for an incredible win. And thank you for Thanksgiving coming up. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And I will see you guys after the Cowboys Thanksgiving game. Hopefully it is an incredible victory. And hopefully we get even closer to signing Odell Beckham Jr. the next time I see you. Hopefully that's the next video I make, a breaking news video. It's been a long time since I've gotten to do a breaking news video. Last time I think was bad news. I want good news. I want great news. Sign OBJ, bring him to Dallas, and I will see you guys when that happens. Or one way or another, I'll see you guys after Thanksgiving. So have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great break if you're off from school or getting a break from work. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Go Cowboys.